And that's how you start a show.
That is. Hooray. You did it.
Absolutely. Oh, you know what?
What? Too
I
loud?
don't think your mic is it's working.
Again?
I mean, I'm hearing you off your
Okay, how's this?
I'm hearing you off your laptop, definitely, but I'm not hearing you off your headset. So yeah, your mic issues have been
No, that's
interesting.
Better.
Oh, you got it? Let me see.
Hello.
Oh,
yeah. No, it's on.
Yeah, I think you're herky jerky. It's kind of regelling.
Herky jerky. Fuck
Big
you.
time.
You smell like shit. What did he say? You look like the piss boy. You look like a bitch.
When in doubt, yell at the tech help, I say. I know people at the Apple store feel like.
Oh, don't compliment yourself too highly. Hey, so let's do a show meeting on the air.
Oh, finally.
Yeah. Tuesday is Valentine's Day.
So they tell me.
Yeah. So there will be no show on Tuesday.
To hell with love.
To hell with love. I figured I have a hell of a time keeping track of appointments outside of work. So I was like, how can I schedule something so I don't forget it? So I am actually having an Valentine for my colon on Tuesday, doing the old colon scope. So I figured I couldn't forget it on Tuesday. And I thought, well, what time is it? Maybe I can just do a thing before, but it's the whole night before is a lot of fun. So I'm not going to be here on Tuesday, probably. So,
well, we'll get everyone together and we will talk about your colon. That's what we're going to do.
Well, Keith thought we wouldn't have a show today. I got to the job house at 1:45. Yeah. And got there with Blackie, and Keith goes, "No show today?" I said, "No, there's a show. In fact, we got a lot of surprises plugged today. I saw Dr. Kelly there this morning. She said hello to Blackie.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So
she give him a once over.
You did. She did. She was
eyes are good, fur's looking good. All right.
She said, "You brought the beast in with you today." I said, "No, Keith came on his own."
No, I was gonna say no. Blackie brought his beast in. Yes, exactly.
No, but we got a big show. So that's Tuesday. Monday we have a big show. We have Mary Gilo, who is like a a guide for authors. Is among her many gifts and talents, and she's going to be telling us some inside stories of what's going on in the writing world. So
excellent.
Looking forward to that.
Very cool.
On Monday.
Show note today. Once AJ comes in, I've got some building stuff here. I gotta, over there in the building there, I gotta take care of. So yeah, so I want to do that. So
okay, Jeremiah's all set for today to join us at 8:35.
Great, I should be back by then, hopefully.
Oh good. Johnny, we might have a guest. Here's Johnny guest. This we'll see. You saw his note last night. Yes. He called last night with show suggestions. I thought, you know what? Instead of listening to this, let's have him on.
Bring your show suggestions live to the show. Speaking of,
I got your show suggestions for you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Feel free. Let's see. Do I have this here? Where's my little? Oh no, it's not there. Well, in any case, if you're on any of our various socials watching this, feel free to leave a comment. If it's particularly pithy or witty or even lame, we'll put it on the show and talk about it. It'll look something like this. So there you go. And look for your comments below.
I talked to Russ this morning too. Had a meeting with Russ pre-production.
Very good.
And he's gonna be shooting some comments in, and he's talking about having a manufacturing Monday next. Russ is like one of those guys who's too organized, because he said, starting in October there's a manufacturing. It's manufacturing month, and I was like, October? That's like not next week. What are we talking about it for? he's like, no, I was wondering, we can highlight some things. I said, sure, absolutely. Sure. Let me know in September.
Let me know September 29th, will you?
Exactly. At
midnight.
At 7:45.
Even better.
I'll meet you at the Java house.
There you go.
Yes.
Very good. Very good.
So we got a big Super Bowl weekend. We got all kinds of things going on.
Oh, is
Mr.
that
Bob's.
going down this weekend? I guess
Do you,
so.
do you watch the Super Bowl? You don't, do
No,
you?
no,
Do you
I
watch
don't.
any part of it? Do you watch like the entertainment or
I
anything like that?
have been known to dip in at the halftime show, especially if it's going to be something that's completely insane or moronic. I like to be able to make fun of it later. So, and I can't, much like if you don't vote, you can't complain. If I don't watch the Super Bowl halftime show, I can't make fun of it later.
Well, I usually that part I usually skip. I'm not. They're so bad.
They're
Usually,
awful.
I
Yeah.
mean,
My
they
favorite, what
have
was that
great-
year? You remember that year? There was a big thing. It was probably the late 80s or early 90s. They were going to do the Super Bowl halftime show in 3D, and you could buy glasses, 3D glasses from
Pepsi, probably.
Pepsi, or it was Pepsi or Coke or whatever. And the 3D. The 3D show was Elvis Presto. It was an Elvis magician.
See,
It was so bad. It was agonizing, and the 3D sucked.
now that sounds good. That's the problem.
Actually, I would say again, I had a good time because I was, it was a howler, but still.
The big thing in the Super Bowls now, because betting is legal everywhere, are they called the prop bets? What are you doing for the prop bets? And one of the big, so I'm not looking forward to. I'm not a Rihanna guy. I'm not an anti-Rihanna guy. I think the outfit that they have her in promoting the thing looks like she's from Whoville with all the curls and stuff on it. I don't know if you've seen it, but I am interested to see Chris Stapleton sing the national anthem. And do you know who he is or no?
I do. Our paths have crossed.
Okay, yeah, he's Americana-ish. You'd like him. Anyway, I'm interested to see what he'll do with it. And one of the bets is, will he sing it in 2 minits or under? That's one of the big bets going on.
Look what I got for you.
Chris Stapleton's
Elvis
brother.
Presto.
Oh, you did it. No.
Look, they're coming at you. Oh, God. Let's see if I can move forward here a little bit.
See,
Chaos. It's all chaos. Let's see. Here comes Elvis.
Which card it's gonna be depends on just how loud you clap, my friend.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4. Now clap for the card that you.
Wow.
Elvis Presto.
Who came up with this?
Jack
don't
of
know.
clubs.
It's great. I love it.
That's not as good, though. As good as that is, and that is spectacularly classic. One thing I do love are the fake crowds that they have run in and go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, don't make fun. I was part of that fake crowd 6 times over.
You were?
No, I was not.
Oh, well, you with your nice short sleeve shirt on.
Aspired to it.
Yes, you aspired to it, for God's sakes. Yeah, so that's coming up this weekend. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. 40s. Are you working this weekend?
No.
40s and sunny. So we're happy about that. That's good.
That.
Mr. Bob's going to have a good day to help the homeless tomorrow down at Kosciuszko Park. And please go to MrBobsUnderTheBridge.org and see how you can help donate either cash or merchandise or your time. They ain't picky. They'll take it all from Mr. Bob's. They're smart. They're flexible. Java House, the Italian is fantastic today. I don't know if you've been down there or not.
It's been a while. No, but I got. But we have to talk about this because you were talking about your Tuesday fun. Maybe you can use
oh boy,
one of these fine drinks to help cleanse.
Ooh, love monkey.
Tell the doctor. I'm filled with love monkey.
I love Left at the Altar Mocha. I like that one. That's a good one.
That's anti-Valentine's Day surprise.
I went in yesterday afternoon and you mentioned the golden moon milk, and as soon as you planted that seed, I had to get one.
You're welcome, Lisa.
After I saw you yesterday when you were no help, I went over to Java House and got help. I got a
Hello,
golden
the
moon
Apple
milk.
Store. It's Jeff. Can I help you?
So it was a good day.
Oh,
it was a good day. Don't forget the Mel's Chili Trail, Mel's and Bell's Brujas, and Chili at 20 different restaurants around Ozaukee County. All good. Hey, Burt Bacharach died.
I saw that.
Are you a Burt Bacharach guy?
Well, how can you not be? Especially close to Valentine's Day. You know, what the world needs now is love. You know what's so great about Burt is he's an amazing. I mean, people can say he's schmaltzy and syrupy and molasses and saccharin and all that stuff.
I do all that for the cashew.
I know you do, but Guy's a hell of a songwriter. I mean, he just knew how to put together and craft a perfect pop song. And so,
Well, he didn't do the lyrics. That was
Hal David did that. Yeah,
Yeah.
But what's really interesting about Bert is he actually couldn't carry much of a tune.
No.
If you saw him sing, it wasn't the best.
And he looked like a leading man. He had leading man looks. He was so smooth.
Absolutely.
Can you look up the Martini and Rossi commercial he used to do with Angie Dickinson when he'd say Martini and Rossi on the rocks?
Absolutely.
Say yes. Oh, that was classic. And like anybody would drink vermouth on the rocks. Are they freaking nuts? Gotta be crazy to do do that. Yeah, we got it good.
Pretty sure. Oh, very nice. This is whew. All right, folks.
Does it say what year, Bulldog?
Yeah, it just says 70s.
Okay, so that's good enough.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, come on, StreamYard. You know
so
what you want to do.
Bert died at 94, so in the 70s he was in his 50s.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're getting close here.
He looks like one of those guys who is born to have gray white hair too. He just.
Here we go.
Hi,
Yep.
I'm Angie Dickinson. A great change of character. Because the taste is light, it doesn't speak to characters. Bert, what do you say to Martini and Rossi?
Yes. Martini and Rossi. Say yes.
He was looking at her boobs the whole time. The whole time.
One was named Martini, the other was Rossi.
Wow. He was not looking at the beverage. Oh my gosh. He's just like, yes.
Yes. In all of your TV and movie fanboy that you are, you've never mentioned Angie Dickinson before and the fine work she did over the years.
I know her best from Dress to Kill.
Dress to Kill. She was Pepper Anderson or whatever, policewoman.
Yeah, policewoman.
Remember that?
Yeah. She got a lot of work in the 50s and 60s. And by the 70s, she was already kind of winding it down. But that's when she started bearing all. So
she was hanging around with Frank Sinatra.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
No, famously. I mean, she not well, I guess dating too, but regardless, wasn't that a classic thing? He was playing This Guy's in Love with You or something. He was playing serious, it's just like ding 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 ding. What do you say? Yes. He carried that tune pretty well.
Yeah, that worked out really well. Yeah, well, he was inspired. Definitely inspired. Double inspired.
Have you ever seen anyone drink sweet vermouth on the rocks? A glass of it?
I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, I haven't dabbled.
It never. That's why it was so memorable, because it was so freaking bad.
So it's really sweet.
Sweet vermouth?
Yeah,
it's like kind of sweet. It's dry vermouth is white and sweet vermouth is red.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you. I'm glad I can't tell you.
I kind of want one now.
Itself. Oh my God!
Try it.
I tell you what, you go into Union House tonight,
okay,
and order
I'll
one.
get laughed out of there. Chris will be like, "What?"
No, Chris will throw you out. He'll take you by your lapels and say, funny boy, eh? Out. He'd
like
kick
Martini and It's a Wonderful Life, Sheldon Leonard.
He'd kick you out, and then if you had a hat, I wish you had a hat just so you could take it and throw it out at you afterwards.
Me and my guardian angel, Clarence. All right, that's it. You two, boat out.
Boat out.
Funny guys.
Funny guys.
Well, let's bring in one of the sports funny guy.
Okay. Let's bring him. Let's see how he's doing today. I talked to AJ yesterday. After the show, we kind of were trading Bulldog notes. Hey!
Oh, great.
Hey, guys.
I wasn't invited to that meeting. Thank God.
How you doing, AJ?
Good.
So, a couple things that your agent said were going to happened yesterday. He was like prescient.
Yes, he was. He called me right after. He goes, "They didn't believe me.
Well, were we ever given any reason to?
Yeah, we were still in shock that he finally showed his face.
He called me. He goes, "They didn't believe me." I'm like, "They didn't believe you."
How are you doing?
I'm great, guys. I'm great.
What's on your? This is kind of a big sports weekend. What do you think? Do you have anything to report?
Oh yes, we got Bucks last night. Giannis had 38 and 10. We got
Wait. Did they win?
they won. Yes.
All right.
On national TV last night.
Oh,
You know,
no wonder I couldn't find it.
You know, Braun fails to show up, and then Giannis says, "I'm going to go have 40." So,
There you go.
Also, I do have a book report for you guys today.
Fantastic.
Um, and I have a homestead report as well.
Oh,
right.
God. Homestead, Florida? You mean like where they had that hurricane years ago?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
no. So,
All right.
so-
Fire away. Your
so-
choice.
We'll start with the book report because it's
Okay.
really good. For those of you who are interested, this was a really good book. I read it a while ago, so it's not a current read for me, but I read it a while ago. It's called Walk On Warrior by John Woolcomb. It's a really good book. It goes into his experience as a walk-on at Marquette. And it goes into his experience with Coach Cream and all the coaches there. And he didn't play much, but 13 years later, he decided to write a book. And he's actually one of my LinkedIn connections. So that's how I got my hands on the book, and it's really good.
One of your 8 million LinkedIn connections?
Yes, Jack.
I've got one LinkedIn connection. It's my mom.
And she's blocked you. Hey, and when she learned you're a pork eater, you're a trafer. Hey, I made the Audible purchase, but I haven't started it yet, AJ. I'll start it this weekend.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It goes into his career. Mark, he didn't play much. He was a walk-on, but he talks about playing with, I think he played in like 05 maybe with like Novak and those guys.
Okay.
So he said he just goes into the experience, and it was really a good book. So
Okay.
yeah. So I highly recommend it for readers because he went from walk on to author, so it was cool.
Okay, you're on the spot, man. We're delving into it. It better be good. It better pay off, or we're gonna dock your pay if it's not.
Yeah, dock it some more. Okay.
AJ's like, once you get a minus sign in front of the number, it doesn't matter anyway,
That's
right?
Dock it some more. I'll go free minus. And we'll go from there.
It's nice because 2 negatives make a positive, so we're doing well.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, walk
Step
on
away,
warrior.
boys. I'll be back.
All right.
No.
Okay, what else do you have, AJ?
I'm also reading The Game by Grant Hill. That's my current read right now.
Okay.
I just started it, but it's really good. I just got to the 5-star basketball camp. You remember that back in the day?
AJ, he's an announcer now. Does he do the book? Does he the voiceover?
Yeah, he does the voiceover. So it's
Okay.
really
Good. Okay.
it's really good. I haven't really delved into it too much because it's 11 hours long, but I'm still working on it.
I'll be interested to hear about when he was recruited and things, how that went.
His recruitment, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Has Coach K been in that book yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
He's still in high school.
Oh, okay. All right. Where did he grow up, AJ? What state?
He grew up not in North Carolina.
Okay.
It was somewhere. His parents he was very well off.
Mm-hmm.
His parents were his dad was a NFL player, Calvin Hill.
Oh, that's right.
And his mom was a businesswoman.
Okay. I remember Calvin Hill. He's a running back for the Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we got Marquette and Wisconsin this weekend tomorrow.
Who plays who? Do you know? Do you know who they're playing?
Marquette plays Georgetown and Wisconsin plays Nebraska.
They both. I'm gonna jinx them. They both should win those games.
Yeah, they should.
Are they going to?
I'm nervous about the Georgetown game, to be honest with you,
Why?
because it's at Georgetown, and Georgetown always plays better at home.
Okay.
They're not any good, but still.
Have they won since they beat DePaul?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, they need more DePaul on their schedule.
Yeah. Hey now. I can't hang on DePaul. My buddy's there.
I know. I'm just giving it to you. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you want to talk Homestead. Before you do that, we've already talked pros a little bit. I did a little thing on one of the things your dad and agent predicted was that the Bucks would trade and get Jay Crowder after the show, and that's exactly what happened.
Yes, sir.
So
5 second-round picks. You know,
yeah, who
needs a second-round pick?
right? It's like getting them for nothing. And I thought about it, and I was looking. I think this is off the Athletic. I said, why would the Bucks want him? And it says the motivation for the Bucks with Crowder has always been pretty simple. He is a 6'6" forward who has played 107 playoff games. He is tough and defensive minded. He can take on tough defensive assignments and defends physically against big wings. He is the type of player the Bucks would want in a series against the Boston Celtics and their big wings of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, he reminds me of PJ.
That's what I was going to say. After I read that, I was like, oh, that's why they wanted him.
Yeah, he reminds me of PJ.
And they need that.
Plus, I think he'd be really comfortable in Milwaukee, considering he played 4 years here.
Didn't he left early? Didn't he? He didn't play the whole 4 years, did he?
He left early.
Okay, yeah, but he certainly is familiar with the area. Yeah. They say he's going to be big and physical. Last year when the Bucks played the Celtics and the Celtics killed the Bucks, it went 7, but it didn't ever feel that close, did it? It felt like
No. I worked Game 6 and it really didn't feel that close.
Yeah.
Plus, if you remember, not to bring up a bad memory for all you people in Milwaukee, but if you remember, the Bucks were distracted in Game 7 by what happened in Game 6. I truly believe that if what happened in Game 6 does not happen, the Bucks probably win the series.
What happened in Game 6? I don't remember.
Outside.
Oh, was that where they had the shooting? Oh, yeah. Okay. That could be. Yeah. But they said against the Celtics last time when the Bucks didn't have Chris Middleton, the Bucks struggled with Boston's size.
Yeah, right.
As the series progressed, Grayson Allen and George Hill found themselves trying to defend the Celtics' big wings far too often, and the Bucks couldn't get the stocks. Yeah.
So George Hill's gone.
So
we don't have to worry about.
Did they cut him?
No, he got traded.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Yeah. Excellent.
I'm not a fan. I don't know him personally. I'm just not a fan of his game. Offensively, Crowder's value is a bit tougher to peg. He is advertised as a 3 and D wing, but just a 34.6% three-point shooter. It's not a spectacular average. Crowder is known as a streak shooter who can get hot from time to time. I would say yeah, because he. It seemed to me when the Bucks played them in the finals, he was hitting threes left and right.
Yeah, in Phoenix, but he wasn't hitting at home.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to add that. Also, one note, I know you mentioned LeBron James the other day getting the all-time scoring record.
Yes, sir.
But listen to this. LeBron James, age 38, scored his 38,388th NBA points, breaking the record.
That's crazy.
That Kareem held for 38 years.
That's crazy. The irony. Yeah,
the game was played February 7th, which was the 38th day of 2023. What do you think of that?
That's crazy.
Meant to be. Okay. What else you got? What do you got for Homestead?
We got West Bend West tonight.
At West Bend West.
On the road.
Okay.
For those of you who are in the area, West Bend West is not that far from Sheboygan County. So for anyone who's listening in Sheboygan County, check it out. See if you can make it.
You sound like you have fans in Sheboygan County.
My cousins, my family.
Okay. Well, they have to like you. They're your family.
Yeah. Also, a speaking note.
Okay.
I'm sending presentations out for anyone who's interested. So, I'm sending the video, Jack, the video clip I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
I have now sent to over 20 universities and colleges.
Okay.
Including Stanford and Northwestern.
Okay. Ooh. All right. Well, if you get to Stanford, I'll go with you. I like that area.
Palo Alto, yeah.
Yeah.
I do so.
You have to get my traveling expenses thrown in for the gig.
And I just got a note from Marquette too. I'm gonna get a book to Shaka Smart.
What's that?
I just got a note from someone at Marquette too on how to get a book to Shaka Smart.
Oh, excellent.
Which
Shaka, Shaka seems like a good guy to me. Seems like a smart, good guy.
He's a Wisconsinite. He's a good guy.
How about you? You want a couple octaves in your voice there? There's a lot of Wisconsin guys who aren't good guys. There's some turds from Wisconsin, but he's not one of them.
He's from Oregon, which is where my aunt teaches. So he's from Oregon.
I thought you said he was from Wisconsin.
No, he's from Oregon, Wisconsin. Which
Sounds fishy.
Which is just outside of Madison.
I know where it is, for God's sakes. Okay, so so your speaking gigs are going well. You've got your name out there. You got the book to Shaka Smart. All good things. Way to be active. Keep after it.
Yes, sir.
What have you changed your mind? Anything about your Super Bowl pick?
No.
Even after Patrick Mahomes got his second MVP last night?
No, I'm not changing my mind.
Okay. How do you think he's going to do in the game?
I don't know. It depends on the ankle.
Well, he's had 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. That concerns me. His ability to mobilize and run around concerns me a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the speed. I like the versatility of the Philly offense. I mean, Devontae Smith across the middle, AJ Brown, big body receiver, Dallas Goedert, big body tight end, Jalen Hurts running the football, Miles Sanders running the football. So I like Philly.
What about Hurts' shoulder?
I think it's good enough to go. If it's good enough,
well, sure, it's not your shoulder. What do you care?
I do care. I care. I care about the man's health, Jack.
Sure, because you got to wager in the game. What?
No, I don't actually. No, I don't.
What are you going to? Are you going to? Bulldog's not going to watch the game. Are you going to watch the game?
I'm going home to watch the game. That's why. I'm going home. Yeah.
Okay, you're going home. You're not going home to see your parents. You're going home to watch the game. They got better TV.
I'm going home to see my parents as well.
Okay, so what will be on the menu at the Bocchini household for the Super Bowl?
Probably spaghetti.
Oh, that sounds terrible. What do you eat like at halftime? Do you eat before the game? How does that work?
Before.
Before? Okay. What is your mom going to make that cake that you're always taunting us with?
No.
No?
There needs to be more people than just me.
Oh, I think you could put away a cake. I've seen you eat. I've seen you put away pancakes.
I could put away a cake, but not that type of cake. I need more people.
Okay. All right. Well, just invite your fan club for God's sakes.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Right. So you're going to so you're gonna. Will you be able to be on the show on Monday if you're going home?
I should be because my dad drops me off early in the morning.
Okay. Well, that's nice of you. At least he does one nice thing for somebody, your dad.
Yeah.
Usually it's all me. All right. Now, the other thing that, speaking of your dad, he predicted happened yesterday, which is Joe Thomas got into the Hall of Fame, or got voted into the Hall of Fame.
Good for him. Good for him.
Did you see that?
Yeah, was that on Saturday? Was that on the NFL Honors last night as well?
It must have been. I just have a recap. Darrelle Revis, Joe Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, Rondé Barber, and Zach Thomas are all going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame.
The only name that, and I'm not a Cowboy hater, so I'm not going to hate on him, but the only name that's questionable to me, at least for the first ballot, is DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah, he was good.
Zach Thomas, he's good, but he's not great.
What about Rondé Barber? Was he that good?
Rondé Barber was a stud, but Rondé Barber's been on the ballot a few times.
Has he? Okay. What about Zach Thomas?
Zach Thomas was a stud, but he's been on the ballot a few times as well.
I like Zach Thomas's story, how he kind of was Texas Tech, I think, some smaller school.
Yeah, right.
got passed by until like the second day of the draft, and then
Now, am I wrong? Is that the first Badger Hall of Famer that we've had, or is there different? Is there other ones?
I don't know. That he might be. No, who's the guy who won? Alan Amici, I bet you, is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Alan Beachy's in the Hall of Fame.
Well, yeah, there you
He's
go.
got his own field, for goodness sake.
Well, there you go. He deserves it. Let's see. I'll look it up quick. So, what about Darrell Revis? Was really good for a long time.
Shut down corner.
He was another.
Black
He was
He invented the not throw my way because I'm going to pick you off. That type of thing.
He didn't invent that.
He started for the modern era. Yeah.
No. No.
I said for the modern era. I didn't.
No. Lester Hayes.
I'm not old enough for Lester Hayes.
Oh, yes, you are. What about
I'm 31.
What about Coach Prime?
I'm old enough for Coach Prime.
There you go. He was a shutdown corner.
Yes, sir. Yes.
See how quickly you forget, you young whippersnapper.
Yes, sir.
For God's sake.
Jack been behaving, AJ?
Yes, sir.
Really?
We're good
All right.
We always, I always behave. It's just a question of how you behave.
I thought I was busting up a potential hostage situation, but you look okay. I was just a wellness check.
AJ's talking some trash.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Good.
It's Friday. You got to.
All right.
He wants to talk to you, Bulldog, about
National Day of the Week, Trash Talk Day.
He wants to talk to you about not watching the Super Bowl. AJ couldn't believe it that you're not going to watch the Super Bowl.
No. I'll probably go see a movie because there's nobody at the theaters. It's a perfect day.
Just watch 80 for Brady. It'll be like you're at the Super Bowl.
Well, I don't know about that. the critics have been divided, shall we say?
Really?
Yeah, that's all right. Actually, it didn't get as much of a trash talking to quote AJ as I thought it would. So there you go. But they say the ladies are having fun, although it is a little uncomfortable to hear them talk so. In such a raw, frank way about like Tom Brady's like butt. So,
oh, really?
There's a lot of that going on. So buckle in. So yeah, excellent. But no, never been it's just a really long broadcast, and it just takes forever. Like most of the games, from my meager experience, are not exactly nail biters. So
well, they used to be really bad for a long time. I mean, the first like 20 of them weren't ever close. But in recent years, there's been some good games. They aren't all. The thing is, my biggest beef with it is the halftime show. While they get good talent, it's just too long, and it stops the whole game. I mean,
it stops the flow of the game. Yeah.
AJ, do you remember Elvis Presto?
I was not alive.
1989 would have been the year.
That was 2 years. That was 2 years before I was a thought.
You're always a thought. All right, here, AJ. Here are the Badger football players in the NFL Hall of Fame. Ready?
Go ahead.
Joe Thomas, gonna be.
Yes, sir.
Elroy Hirsch, Crazy Legs. He was the athletic director for a long time, also at Wisconsin. Mike Webster, your dad would have loved him. He went to Pittsburgh Steelers.
My dad loved him.
I know. Pat Harder, whom I heard of, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Paul Gruber.
Yeah.
That's not the Gruber one call, that's all. He was offensive tackle, 1988. George Little, who played in 1955.
Yeah.
Clarence Spears, 1955. Boy, they must have had a good game. And Arnie Herber. I think he played for the Packers, right?
Yeah, I think so. Notice there's one position that's not on the list.
There's many positions.
No, but there's one primary.
What?
On the list. Quarterback.
What? Well, what about Randy Wright? He should have been in there.
He's not in there though.
He was terrible in the pros.
Yeah.
I was just watching our next guest, Jeremiah, in the green room. He was just given the cat treatment by that we all get.
but Ruffs may get in, so that would qualify. Does that qualify for a guy who's been there for 1 year?
Yeah. The Badgers. He played before he joined the Badgers, but the Badger experience really got him well known because he played in a big conference.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. Well, we got our next guest all queued up here, as long as the Bengal tiger in the green room doesn't devour him. So we will we'll let you get on with your Friday there, AJ.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Go
you.
trash
so much
talk
for
somebody
coming
else.
in. Or come back here and trash talk Jack some more. We're all for it.
I'll come back.
Thank you. All right. Even better. He's like, oh yeah, sign me up.
I got more.
I'll,
I'm just getting warmed up.
I'll pick up your slack while you're away. All right.
All right, tell your dad I was right that Joe Thomas got in the Hall of Fame. He'll love to hear that.
Yes, you will. You will.
All right.
All right, guys.
Talk to you Monday. Have a good weekend.
Take care, AJ. Thank you.
Have a super weekend.
Yeah, have a super weekend.
There we go. Take care. Hey, Jay Bocchini with sports here on the Jack Henke Show. And he is here Monday through Friday at 8:15. We've been kind of on time with him this week. There must be a StreamYard thing. So our clock, I think, for some reason.
You're 2 minutes late for Jeremiah.
Well, okay, all right. See, you can never
quit bragging. Let's roll.
Never bask in any sort of victory.
I'm sick of basking in your bullshit. Let's roll.
Bail
there he is.
Bail me out.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing?
Hey, Jeremiah.
Hi. How's it going?
Great. How you doing?
I'm good.
What do you think of the new digs?
This is the camera quality. Obviously the cameras are good, but the visual now is working great. I like it.
Yeah, much better.
Yep.
Definitely.
Big step up.
Step in the
Big
right
step.
direction.
Yeah. Speaking of big step up, you had a big week this week, Jeremiah.
Oh, my birthday?
Yes.
What did I miss?
My birthday. You can legally drink now.
Jeremiah's like, crap, what did I miss?
I saw you. The reason I bring it up is one of the reasons is, first of all, happy birthday. However, also, I saw you with this one of your things that you talked about in the past, one of those huge cookie cakes that was one of your weaknesses. I saw a picture of you on social with that. And I was thinking to myself, well, how is Jeremiah going to moderate a cookie cake that size and keep himself in check? How do you, when you get something like that, what do you do with it?
Well, that wasn't the only thing I got. I also got 27 cookies from Colleen and then 60 some from another person. So we had a lot of cookies.
100. How old are you, for God's sakes? You look good for 100 years old.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good too. But no, so I gave away probably most of them. I put them in the trainer office, and then I told everybody, I need you to take some because I will do all these myself. Yeah. So I needed everybody to take them. So when I went home with them, the only cookies that I actually ate, me and my girlfriend actually ate, was probably 20 some cookies worth over a span of an entire week together. So
remarkable.
I have a rule, and it's probably been ingrained for me from my parents, is where I ate things in fours. I'm allowed to eat 4 cookies a day. I'm allowed to eat 4 of something a day. When I was little, my parents would have like little plastic cups with 4 different treats in them, and I could grab a cup and it would always have 4 different treats in them. So I think I've just been conditioned to eat things in 4s, and then for some reason after 4, I'm like, that's it. I am satisfied. I can stop now.
So that's probably a life lesson in there somewhere.
Yeah.
No, I would say that I'm not a good example of what to do because I've been weirdly set up for this, and I don't know that this is realistic for everybody to be able to do. So the suggestion is only bring home what you think you should eat. We have in the United States, we have a very completion mindset where when we start something, we have to finish it. I mean, I've eaten half my burger. I should eat the rest of it now. I've got this entire pizza. I've eaten 3/4 of it. I may as well just finish it now. No, you could stop. Nobody's telling you got to eat all that food. You could stop at any point. You could throw away half of that. You could give it away. You don't have to eat all of that. But we tell ourselves that once we start, we may as well finish.
Right, this isn't Russia. They're out like secret police watch. Like, you will finish the burger.
It is amazing. It is amazing. I've been trying to do and successfully doing it more. Not always, but you have a piece of pizza and you just let that sit. You don't have to. The taste doesn't get better the more you eat. In fact, the more you eat, you just kind of go, ooh, why did I do that? It was I could have stopped at 1, or something like that. So it's true. There's also a really smart guy who says you can have any dessert you want as long as you only have 3 bites of it, which makes sense too, depending on the size of your bites. But I saw that cookie cake and I thought, so you took that home? Can you only have 4 of those then, the cookie cakes, or is
4
that?
cookie cakes? Yeah, very reasonable.
See, I will find a loophole to that rule, and it won't serve me well.
That's the loophole right there for you.
I brought home maybe a third of the actual cookie cake, which ended up
Really?
being like 4 or 5 slices because all the other trainers took a bunch, thankfully. Otherwise, I would have probably done it all myself and been sick from it. I know that personally, if I hold off eating sugar, I will binge sugar. Once I start, I find it really difficult to stop, which is why the rule of fours for me only goes so far. I have to be like consistent with it. I have to let myself do it whenever I want to, and then I'm okay with 4. But if I wait like 2 months and I'm like, this is the first bite of sugar that I'm having, I might not be able to stop because that's the way that sugar and carbohydrates work. They don't fill you up, and they are very addicting. Where it truthfully does feel like the more you get.
I know. It's so true.
So
But
another caveat with that is because we have this completion mindset, there's an old train of thought where like if you're eating a bag of chips, take a handful of chips, put it in a bowl, and then eat out of the bowl. When you're done with the bowl, you're done. And if you bring that whole bag of chips out, you might eat until the bag of chips is empty.
that's right.
Because you want to complete it. But if you completely eat the entire bowl, you're good when the bowl is empty. So portion size yourself. Portion sizing is a really big way to control what you're going to eat. If you put it in a Tupperware container,
and then I gotta do dishes.
not if you always eat.
And I gotta wash a bowl.
He is the biggest whiner. My God. The thing is, if that completion mindset, if people would only carry that over into other parts of their life, people leave things half done all the time, but they don't leave a bag of chips half done.
Interesting how selective that is. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I know you have what you want to talk about, but I wanted to start with that because it's a big week whenever your turn the birthday, and you got your cookie cake that you love so much. So I thought I gotta ask him about it.
Yeah,
good.
It was very good. Look at that.
It is one of the world's most perfect foods. Is a chocolate chip cookie with icing on it. I mean, my God.
There can't be much better. In the shape of a pizza, incredible.
Here we are.
So
I must step out. I'll be back.
Is sort of along the lines of that I was going to talk about today was just general fat loss tips and tricks, and then some misunderstandings that some people have.
Okay.
So this is probably stuff I'm hoping that many people have heard by now, but one of the most common misconceptions that in regard to exercise, there is an old train of thought that cardio is the best way to reduce your body fat. It is not necessarily the case. So let's say that you are very new to a gym, you are overweight, and you would like to lose some of that weight. You probably want to lose specifically fat, not necessarily muscle. So I'll be more specific and I'll say that you want to come in and you want to train to lose body fat. Not necessarily weight, but body fat.
Mm-hmm.
The easiest machines to use are the cardio machines. It's great. I think that's always probably going to be the case. And I think that that's better than doing nothing. So hop on the cardio machine. When you first start training, cardio can be pretty difficult. You might only get 10 or 15 minutes on there walking, maybe if you're fairly well conditioned, you could power walk for 10 or 15 minutes and then be pretty exhausted and want to leave. And that's fine. That's a good workout on day one. Cardio is catabolic, meaning that it breaks down tissue in the body. So that is the best way to train specifically to catabolize, I don't know how to pronounce that one, how to break down tissue in the body. So it is very effective at doing specifically that. And then there's more nuance to that, just depending on the intensity level, what your heart rate is at, you might be using different fuel sources in your body. But in general, keep it simple, and that it is catabolic, it is breaking down tissue in your body. If you come in for, let's say 3 weeks doing that, you'll probably have a fairly, I'm not going to say easy, because it depends on the person, but there's a fairly good chance that you will lose up to 3 to 5 pounds in those 3 weeks. And that may continue for upwards of 10 to 12 pounds over the next 3 or 4 weeks following that. You might have a lot of success up front. And that is the veil that the success of cardio can cause for you, which is unfortunate because it seems like it's working and then suddenly it stops working. So let's say after those 7 weeks, you start to stop losing as much fat, stop losing as much weight. And the more you do, no matter how much you do, you're not going to see success at that point. That is the misconception with cardio, is that at some point your performance adapts and you become more metabolically efficient. You start to burn less calories doing the same amount of things, By now, you're probably walking 30 to 45 minutes. You might even be able to run for a lot of that. So you might have a lot more energy than you did before, which is great. Your performance and your cardiovascular health are improving, but your body composition is no longer changing when that was the goal from the start. And now you found yourself in a predicament where it is difficult to start burning fat again. And you probably have to troubleshoot now and figure out what are the other things you need to change. Maybe you haven't changed your diet yet. So then you start changing your diet. There's then becomes the common misconception that eating less is the way to lose fat. For the most part, for most people, yes, it is, because most people eat too much. But there are the few people who don't eat enough. And it takes a lot of energy to use energy. It takes a lot of energy for your body to burn off body fat. You need to intake fuel so that you can use the fuel in your body to get rid of it. And that is a very energy costing process, and it takes more calories than you might think. So some general rules of thumb, and this may change depending on what school of information you got this from, but what I was taught is that the minimum that anybody should be consuming is 1,200 calories. This is for an extended period of time. I'm not speaking towards a fasting diet for short term, or any sort of other prescribed diet that maybe a doctor is prescribing you. In general, for long-term diets, the lowest amount of calories anybody should be consuming is 1,200. And for some people, that might be a difficult amount to start eating. For a lot of people, that is a pretty low amount to be eating. So
that breaks out to like 400 calories a meal if you do 3 meals. If you do 3 meals a day.
Yes, and then basically
so that's not a lot.
Yeah. So for some people, it's pretty easy to do. For some people, that is actually more challenging than you might think.
Mm-hmm.
So tailoring this back to this cardio where you're no longer seeing success and now you're eating too little, your body goes to a point where it just basically stays stagnant. And you might even start to put body fat back on because it's going to start to store energy because it doesn't have enough energy to get you through your day to power the catabolic process of breaking down tissue. So it starts to store and your body fat even might start going back up. What also happens is when you are not eating enough, you start to lose muscle mass. And if you think of a pie chart, if you have lean body mass and fat mass, and let's say you are 75% lean body mass, 30% fat mass. If you start to lose your lean body mass and it goes down to 70%, what did I just say?
You had it at 70 was the lean and 30 was the fat.
Okay, I should have wrote that down.
Yeah.
So let's say that you lose lean body mass and you are down to 60% lean body mass. That means that now your body fat percentage has gone up, but you've not gained any fat. So that is a lot of things. That is one thing a lot of people confuse about is they're like, I'm gaining fat, my body fat percentage is going up. Yes, your body fat percentage is going up, but the issue is that you're losing fat. And here's why that's important or you're losing muscle. And here's why that is important. Muscle tissue is the most metabolically active. It's the most calorie burning tissue in your body. You want as much muscle mass as possible so that you can burn the fire hotter, that you can burn more calories. If you do too much cardio and if your calorie deficit is too large and you're not eating enough, you're going to lose too much muscle mass. Your performance for cardio is going to improve and you're going to put yourself in a position where your body is not burning enough calories anymore because you're efficient with calories. You don't have enough muscle to be less efficient with calories, and that is your goal. So you get to the stagnant position where you can no longer burn enough calories in a given workout or throughout the day. Ultimately, we don't go to the gym to burn calories. That should rarely be your goal. If you want long-term success, you shouldn't be focusing on that. That number is important if you're very meticulous about the calories in versus calories out, the deficit that you want to be in. But we don't go to the gym. Even if your goal is to lose fat, your goal is not to go to the gym to burn calories. Your goal is to go to the gym to put yourself in an advantageous position to build muscle. That way, the other 23 hours of the day, you're burning fat because you have more muscle than when you did not have, because you have more muscle, so you're burning more calories than when you did not have the same amount of muscle.
It seems to me, I'm interrupting, but the calories mindset, losing calories mindset, is that hard to, it seems like something that's been ingrained in us as a culture forever. Is that something that's hard for you to overcome as a trainer with people coming in with that as their mindset? Do you find that a lot?
Yes.
And do people believe you? Do they buy it? Do they buy what you're selling?
Yes, because I try to meet them halfway. But here's the hard part is convincing people that when they're not seeing success is to tell them that they need to start eating more. So there's two trains of thought here. So if you're one of these people who are having to read, did a ton of cardio up front, you lost a bunch of muscle mass and your body fat went up because you lost lean body mass. There's two trains of thought that follow that. You either need to exercise less, so you're not burning in as many calories throughout the day, and your body has more time to recover, repair, rebuild muscle, and then also continue to use that energy for the catabolic process, meaning so you need to exercise less. For a lot of people, that is difficult to do. The other train of thought is you need to start eating more, and telling people they need to eat more when their goal is to get fat off their body is a difficult thing to hear and believe. So
I came back at the right time, and Jeremiah's recommending everyone eat more. I like today's report.
this is really these are ways to troubleshoot the lack of success in fat loss. These are not things you just you don't just hop into your fitness and fat loss journey and just assume you need to start eating more. Unless you are guided by someone who says that is the case, but that's not just your first train of thought. This is usually what you would do after you stop seeing success from the changes you've already made. Because oftentimes we make changes that are too big and our body responds at a more negative way than it does positively. So if you want to prevent rather than have to fix these issues, your goal when you go to the gym to lose fat is, again, not to burn calories. It is not to do a ton of cardio up front. It is absolutely okay to do some thoughtful cardio and sprinkle it in there because it is the main breakdown, tissue breakdown process or a way of exercise. But your main goal is to put yourself in a position where you can build muscle, which is resistance training. And I realize that most people burn a lot less calories doing resistance training than they do with cardio, which is hard to wrap your head around. That you don't want to be burning a ton of calories when you're exercising, but your goal is to build as much muscle as possible because eventually with more muscle, those same workouts are going to start to cost more and more energy. You're going to start to burn more and more calories because you have more and more muscle. It's a bigger and bigger engine burning a hotter and hotter fire. So your goal to prevent having to fix the way that you train and change diet wildly is really to resistance train. That is your main training focus, with a little bit of cardio here and there to build as much muscle as possible. When it comes to diet, again, you don't want to get yourself below 1,200 calories because you don't want to be at a position where you're losing too much muscle. The deficit you want at maximum is your deficit, meaning the amount of calories you burn more than the calories you consume should be no greater than 500. 500 calories.
Using that low number you said earlier, so for a 1,200 calorie diet, you should burn no more than 1,700 calories in a day. Is that correct? Okay.
But you should plan based around the calories that you burned, not the calories you consumed. Because you can't guarantee you're going to burn 1,700 calories in a day, but you can sort of guarantee how many calories you consume.
Okay.
So using that number, you would determine. There's
an old saying, people would always say muscle weighs more than fat. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
And it's true.
Okay. It's like different types of metal. Some metal are much more dense where you drop it and it falls through a table, and then the same size metal of aluminum is super light. So muscle is that really, really dense tissue. Fat is a lot lighter, less dense. And
again, another reason to concentrate on losing fat, not weight, because
oftentimes
you could be muscle bound like I am and weigh a lot like I do and think you have to lose weight, which you don't because you're in great shape, right? Just agree.
100%. So a lot of people will think that the number. Oftentimes, the body that you want doesn't match the number you think you should be, meaning that you want to look a certain way, and that probably matters to you more than the number on the scale. And oftentimes, the number you think that you're going to see on the scale when you look the way you want is wrong. It often weighs more.
That's an excellent point. So if someone comes into you, they should say, I want to look like that guy. What do I have to do to look like that guy? Or
that would honestly be a better train of thought, a better way to think about things than the number on the scale.
I like that.
Because oftentimes, if you want to look like that guy, and I say, how much do you think he weighs? You will grossly underestimate how much that person weighs. They probably weigh 20 to 35 pounds more than you think, and it's because of that dense muscle tissue, that lean body mass that weighs a lot more. So again, if your goal was to get on that scale and weigh that number, you may never look like that person that you wanted to look like, and you might not be happy with that number. Whereas you might finally get the body you want, and you're like, I love the way I look, and I'm super confident. That you look at the number on the scale, and it's nowhere near the number you thought it would be.
That was just your mind blower right there. You just did it. It took you 10 minutes to get there. Usually you blow my mind in the first minute, but today it took 10. All right, I've got a mind blower for you. I like that though. Are you going to watch the Super Bowl?
I am.
Okay. When you watch the Super Bowl, do you watch it at home? Do you go to a party? Do you have people over? What's your social dynamic?
It depends. We have a sports bar by us, and I know where your questions are probably going with this. We do have a cool sports bar near us that we sometimes go to for depends on the game.
Cool. All right. So what is your plan? You know where I was going. What's your plan for eating and consuming during the Super Bowl and pre-Super Bowl, the Super Bowl Sunday? Let's hear your day.
For me, my plan. So
yeah,
if I were, again, I am not a good example of the way the average person should be consuming their food because I am a 26-year-old male with a lot of muscle on my body. I can derail from my diet pretty far and not see the negative consequences from that. I would say the average person should not follow along with what I do specifically because I can do things wrong and not see the negative repercussions of it, again, due to my age and due to how much muscle that I have.
Yep.
So if you wanted to be to that position, I can't say you can get younger, but I can say that you can build muscle so that your metabolism is a lot higher and a lot more resilient to any sort of negative food you put in your body. I don't want to say negative foods, but different foods you put in your body. If you have more muscle mass, you can derail farther from the path and still be okay. If I were I'll give two answers. Here's what I will do, and then I'll give the answer that I think someone else should do. What I'm going to do is probably eat a totally normal breakfast, a totally normal lunch, live my day totally normal, and then when I go to dinner, I'm going to eat and drink what I feel like drinking that night, and I will be fine. But to be fair, I don't drink a ton, and I also don't eat a ton of crappy food all the time. I like bar nachos that are just greasy, covered in cheese and beef and all the other pico de gallo that they put on it. So I'll probably get something like that if I go to a bar and do that. Otherwise, I'll stay home and order food or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I would suggest that the more average person would do is they plan to eat unhealthy. Chances are you're going to be put in a position and it's going to be difficult to say no to the drinks and it's going to say no to the nachos or whatever foods are there. You have to know yourself. You might have a really easy time saying no to all that, and then you're fine. You can eat a totally normal day beforehand. But if you know you are someone who is likely to give in, and you do, everybody knows if they are that person, if you're likely to give in, plan to eat unhealthy. It's okay to do it once in a while. So I would say eat a smaller breakfast, eat a smaller lunch, avoid the snacks in the morning, avoid your snacks throughout the day, knowing that you're going to backload your calories, meaning at the end of the day, your calories are going to come in much more than they should at the start of the day. Yeah. So maybe a light, smaller breakfast where you might have like a parfait with a little bit of protein in there. And then for lunch, maybe a salad, a whole lot of leafy greens and a very colorful salad with, again, still a good amount of protein in there. And then when it comes to your dinner time or whenever you're watching the Super Bowl, it's okay to derail a little bit because you probably had a lot less calories than you normally would have on a normal day. And you might still end up being at your calorie maintenance at the end of that dinner because you're prepared to eat unhealthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be my suggestion.
Set yourself up for success. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then worst case scenario, you don't eat really bad and you actually just had a whole good day eating by accident.
Hey, my product.
What happened? What the hell's going on around here?
So running with the theme from before, if I walk into Form and Fitness and say I want to look like a certain thing. So if I walk in and say I want to look like Jeremiah, I want to look like this guy. Can you get me looking like ex-wrestler, dead wrestler, Baron von Raschke?
I think that could be arranged.
All right, good. That's the claw, by the way. That was his finisher.
It looks like a good move.
It's bad. No. It was all over if you get caught in that one.
He would goose step around the ring and then fire that on somebody.
You're dancing the rumba if you're caught in that one.
Oh, man.
Hey, Jeremiah, how are you doing with the Oscar movies this year? You keeping up? I've been on a little push this week. I want to see how we match up here.
I'm not doing great with that.
Not doing too good. All right.
Yeah.
So this works out well. You're far more fit than I am this week, but I'm better off in the cinema. So
I'll get
between the two of us, we're a whole person.
Bulldog, I looked for everything, anywhere, whatever that one is at the library. It ain't in.
Best of luck. The Oscar movies fly off the shelves this time of year.
I suppose. As soon as they get nominated, they're gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Avatar 2 is making its way in 3D at the Rivoli here in town. That surprised me. So that'll be that's an
worth
option.
seeing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a fan.
As a story, nothing special, but as a movie experience, incredible.
As an experience. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. I watched Top Gun Maverick this week, so I'm caught up.
That one is both a good story and good experience.
I enjoyed that. And I'm not a huge fan of the
loved
first.
it.
I thought the first one I was just like, okay, it's
Yeah,
it's a
the first
80s
one I
music
disliked so much,
music
and-
music video. That's a recruitment video. Been there, done that. This thing was outstanding. I mean, it was just
I agree.
beautifully done. I you know,
totally agree.
talk about crowd pleasing. My God, it's just
Mhm.
like, and it was a cool move to make Tom Cruise basically play essentially a failure. I mean, it's neat to see Maverick get
It's
you know,
interesting.
that's a 50-year-old slightly broken down. You know, I'm like that's outstanding. So yeah, good
Yeah.
stuff. Good redemption arc.
He needs to
Oh,
get
there
in
we
Foreman Fitness, then he can redeem himself. Talk to
He's such a
Jeremiah.
good runner that he might not need to.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
waiting for
aerobics.
when I cast him for
Tell
my
me about
biopic, the Baron von Raschke story. I want him ready. A slab of meat.
Get the Wild Bull of the Pampas on, for God's sakes.
There you go. There you go. Well, Jeremiah, thanks for popping in.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
awesome.
you too.
Much appreciated. I don't know if has Ben still is he lost in the streets of New Delhi somewhere, or is he?
He got back yesterday and is very jet lagged, being that they're 12 hours opposite
Oh
us.
yeah.
So
I wonder if he brought a
He's back
cobra.
with
He'll be. He's gonna
Snake
come
on a
into
plane?
Forward Fitness with a with a basket and say, "Watch what I can do, guys."
Did you say you went to a New Delhi?
Not a New Delhi. New Delhi, you insufferable fop. Anyway, Jeremiah, we will let you go. Have a fantastic weekend. Good day. Good Super Bowl Sunday.
thanks, you
and,
guys too.
All right.
Talk
Talk
to
to
you
you later.
All right. Enjoy.
All right.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
Thank you. He's
Jeremiah,
awesome, man.
He's a great guest. Always been a great guest. So
He brings it.
well-rounded.
He never comes on and kind of goes,
No,
he comes on, he's like, let's go.
Yeah, no. It's even when I catch the tail end, I'm like, God, I'm half inspired. I didn't see the whole thing, so I'm not completely inspired. I'm half inspired. So great stuff. That's the first week with the stream yet. Did we do stream yet?
Half.
Yeah, we did. That's right. We didn't start this until
We started on hump day.
that's right. So I'm pleased. I will fill out my customer satisfaction survey and put completely
Yeah.
satisfied.
Yeah. People are saying the worst thing is they can see us better.
Sorry, guys.
Cleaner.
I think
It's night and day from Zoom, for
it
God's
is.
sakes.
It really is. Yeah. And maybe by next week we'll have your mic figured out and you'll sound as good as you look.
Okay, well,
There we go.
work on it while I'm getting my colon scoped.
Well, I'd rather work on your mic than the other one they're working on. Let me tell you.
Monday, we have Mary Gilo,
Excellent. That'll be fun.
Guide to the Stars, and author stars, that is.
Very, very
So,
cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
That should be fun. We're a library, so
Yes.
you
Reading is a good thing. And next
right in.
week is the sale for the Fiends.
know. Wait a minute. You mean? Are you talking about? Hey. You
Go.
want- It's like
Indiana
a
Jones.
like a video game. That's right. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Take care. We will see you next week.
Have a Wonder Weasel weekend. Bulldog,
And-
we'll talk Super Bowl recap on Monday.
Yes, yes, I will.
Huh?
I'll talk all about Elvis Presto. Pick a card, any card.
Elvis Presto. We'll talk Chris Stapleton on Monday.
There you go. Much better. Take care, everyone.
All right. See ya.
Bye bye.